All right, getting right into it today, we're going to do a deep dive on how to absolutely nail that electromechanical engineering technician interview.
That's right.
And we've got,
Big one.
yeah, some awesome RoleCatcher resources
Yeah.
to help us along the way, career guides, interview guides, even some AI tools to really give you that edge.
It's all about being prepared, and really understanding what this job is. It brings together electrical and mechanical expertise, right?
Yeah.
You're working hands-on with engineers, you're building, you're testing, maintaining all these complex systems.
Right.
We're talking robotics, automated manufacturing, even cutting-edge energy systems. It's a field that's constantly changing.
Yeah, and I was looking at the RoleCatcher Career Guide. It even mentions working in factories, construction sites, offices even.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a lot of variety. But before we get ahead of ourselves, I think we got to tackle those interview questions.
Let's do it.
And this RoleCatcher interview guide is packed with them.
All right, well, let's start with a classic one, right? What inspired you to pursue a career in electromechanical engineering?
Okay.
They want to see your passion here, what is your genuine interest in this? It's not just reciting a timeline of your education,
Right.
It's about showcasing that spark.
So let's say my spark was like, as a kid, I just loved to tinker with electronics.
I love it.
How do I turn that into a compelling answer without sounding like every other candidate?
Yeah, so you got to connect it to specific skills or experiences you've developed along the way.
Okay.
Did those early experiments, did they fuel your problem-solving abilities? Did they teach you the importance of precision, attention to detail?
Yeah.
Maybe you even tackled a tricky repair back then,
Yeah.
That solidified your interest in this field.
Yeah.
Show them how that early passion translates into tangible skills you have now.
Okay, that makes sense. And what about follow-up questions there?
Yeah.
Like, should I be prepared to elaborate on those childhood projects?
Absolutely. They might ask you about specific challenges you faced, lessons you learned. Be ready to give concrete examples that showcase your technical aptitude and how you solve problems.
Got it. Okay, on to question number 2. Can you explain your experience with troubleshooting electromechanical systems?
Oh.
All right, time to get technical.
Yeah, this is your chance to shine a light on all your practical experience. Don't just list the systems you've worked with. Choose a specific example that highlights your diagnostic process.
Okay.
Walk them through the steps you took, the tools you used, the logic behind your approach.
Got it.
Remember, they're looking for both technical skills and critical thinking abilities.
So instead of saying I'm good at troubleshooting, I should say something like, when faced with a malfunctioning conveyor belt, I first checked the motor for overheating, then used a multimeter to test the wiring for continuity.
Yes.
Ultimately isolating the issue to a faulty sensor. So really be specific.
Specifics.
There we go.
And be prepared to discuss the outcome. Did you actually resolve the issue? What did you learn from that experience? Showcasing your ability to learn from challenges is just as important as showcasing those technical skills.
Now, this is where I think RoleCatcher's AI could really come in handy.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Their AI can analyze that specific job description and highlight keywords, skills to really emphasize in your answer. It's like having a guide to personalize your answer for each opportunity.
That's amazing. Okay, question number 3. How do you ensure compliance with safety regulations in your work? Safety is paramount in this field. I imagine this is a big one.
Oh, it's huge. It's about demonstrating, all the safety protocols, right?
Yeah.
And you're committed to a safe work environment for everybody. Start by mentioning those regulations, OSHA, NFPA, or industry-specific standards, but don't stop there. Give concrete examples of how you applied those regulations.
So instead of just saying, I follow safety guidelines, I should say something like, I always conduct a thorough risk assessment before I start any task, ensuring I have the proper PPE.
Yes, exactly.
And that the work area is free of hazards.
I love that it's action-oriented, showcasing your proactive approach to safety. And don't be afraid to mention specific safety trainings or certifications you've obtained.
Right.
Demonstrates you're committed to learning, professional development. Speaking of development, let's talk about the career path itself.
Yeah, perfect timing, because the RoleCatcher Career Guide breaks down those different career stages. Entry-level, junior, senior, lead technician.
Yeah.
It's fascinating to see how that progression can go.
It's helpful to understand that, those stages
Yeah.
helps you tailor your answers, especially if you get questions about leadership and project management. For example, if you're going for a senior role, you're going to want to highlight experiences where you mentored others or took ownership of projects.
Okay, back to those interview questions.
Yeah.
Number 4, How do you prioritize and manage your workload? I think we all struggle with this one from time to time.
Oh, all the time.
Yeah,
The key here is to show off those organizational skills and your ability to handle a lot of tasks efficiently.
right.
So think about a time when you had a ton of work to do, or you faced conflicting priorities.
Mm-hmm.
How did you approach it? Did you use specific tools or techniques to stay organized? Did you communicate with your team to make sure everybody was on the same page?
I'm a big fan of to-do lists and project management apps. I find, just having a visual representation of my tasks helps me stay focused.
That's great. Sharing your personal strategies and the tools you use, that really demonstrates your proactive approach to managing your time and responsibilities. And it's not just about staying organized, it's also about being adaptable. Things change.
Yeah.
Things rarely go exactly according to plan, especially in this field. Be prepared to discuss a time where you had to reprioritize or you had to adjust because something unexpected came up.
Yeah, so it's all about showing we can think on our feet and adapt.
Yeah.
All right, question number 5. How do you maintain and repair electromechanical systems? Back to the technical.
All right, this is another opportunity to get specific. Think about the systems you've worked with, motors, generators, sensors, PLCs.
Yeah.
Choose a system you know really well and walk them through a typical maintenance routine. What are those key steps? What common problems do you encounter? How do you address them?
I'm guessing this is where RoleCatcher's AI feedback can be really helpful.
It's a game changer. RoleCatcher's AI, it can analyze your answers and suggest improvements based on the specific job description and industry standards.
Okay.
It's like having another set of eyes, making sure you're giving the best possible answer.
It's like having a virtual mentor kind of guiding you through the process.
Exactly.
Okay, that's awesome. Question number 6. How do you approach collaborating with other departments or teams in a project? Teamwork is essential in any engineering field, right?
Absolutely. I mean, electromechanical engineering technicians, they rarely work in isolation. They're always interacting with engineers, other technicians, clients even. The interviewer wants to see you can communicate effectively, build strong relationships, and just contribute to a positive team environment.
So what kind of examples would really impress them? Like, should I talk about a time I resolved a conflict or successfully navigated like a challenging group project?
Those are good starting points. Think about a specific instance where you had to work closely with others to achieve a common goal. Highlight your ability to listen, to communicate clearly, find solutions that work for everyone. Did you take initiative to bridge communication gaps, facilitate brainstorming sessions? Did you effectively delegate tasks and responsibilities?
So it's not just about being a team player, it's about taking initiative, those leadership qualities.
Right, exactly.
I like that. Okay, ready for question number 7. It's a technical one. Can you explain your experience with PLC programming? I know this can be intimidating, especially for those new to the field, but don't worry, we've got you covered.
Yeah, PLCs, programmable logic controllers, they're the brains behind so many automated systems. Having some knowledge of them is a real asset, but don't panic if you don't have a ton of experience. The key here is to be honest about where you are, your skill level, but also demonstrate a willingness to learn.
So if I'm like a complete beginner, should I just say that?
Honesty is always the best policy, but instead of saying, I know nothing about PLCs, how about, while my experience with PLC programming is limited, I'm eager to learn, and I've been exploring online resources, like mention specific resources to get familiar with the basics.
I love that. Shows initiative, shows you're willing to expand your knowledge. Speaking of expanding knowledge, I'm guessing RoleCatcher has some resources on PLC programming.
Oh yeah, you bet. RoleCatcher offers a huge library of skill guides, including one specifically focused on PLC programming.
That's awesome.
You can learn about different programming languages, common applications, troubleshooting techniques.
So cool.
It's amazing for anyone wanting to level up their skills and increase their marketability.
All right, so let's just recap for a moment what we've covered. We've tackled some of those tough interview questions. We've highlighted the importance of showing your passion, your technical skills, your problem-solving abilities.
Yes.
Even touched on those career paths and the value of mentors. Don't worry, we're just getting started.
There's so much more to explore.
There's a lot more to explore. We're going to delve deeper into those interview questions, provide even more specific guidance and insights.
Absolutely.
And we're going to talk more about how RoleCatcher's AI tools can help you really personalize your preparation and really maximize your chances of getting that dream job.
That's right.
So stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Welcome back. Before we jump back into those interview questions,
Yeah.
I'd love to hear more about those different career stages you mentioned.
Right.
The RoleCatcher Career Guide really breaks it down nicely.
Yeah, it's good to understand where you fit in and where you want to go. You might start as an entry-level technician,
Okay.
really focused on assisting those senior technicians, maybe building basic circuits, getting familiar with all the tools and equipment.
So it's like an apprenticeship.
Yeah.
Where you're building those foundational, knowledge and hands-on skills.
Absolutely, yeah. And then as you gain experience, you move into a junior technician role. You're taking on more responsibility,
All right.
maybe collaborating with engineers on design modifications, assembling more complex systems, conducting testing and troubleshooting more independently.
So you're starting to take ownership of projects and really apply those problem-solving skills we talked about.
Exactly, exactly. And with more experience, you might move into a senior technician position.
Oh, yeah?
At this level, you're leading projects, overseeing installations, maybe even mentoring junior technicians.
Wow.
Making sure everything meets industry standards, safety regulations.
So that sounds like a real leadership role.
It is, and for those who really thrive in leadership and big picture thinking, there's the lead technician role.
Okay.
Leading and managing a team of technicians, collaborating with engineers on new solutions, making sure entire electromechanical systems run smoothly.
So there's a clear path for advancement, from hands-on work to project leadership and team management.
Absolutely.
That's inspiring, but how does RoleCatcher help me navigate all of this?
Remember those AI-powered tools we were talking about?
Yeah.
They're not just for interview prep.
Right.
RoleCatcher has this career compass feature.
Okay.
Helps you explore different career paths, identify potential areas for specialization. It even suggests relevant courses or certifications to boost your resume.
So I can actually map out my career goals, and RoleCatcher will suggest steps to reach them.
That's right. It's like having a personalized career advisor right there in your pocket.
Amazing.
Plus, RoleCatcher has this huge database of career guides. You can really dive deep into those specific roles, understand those required skills and qualifications, even get insights into salary expectations and industry trends.
This is starting to feel less like a job search and more like a career adventure.
Yeah, I like that. And remember, with RoleCatcher, you'll be ready for each step of the way.
Okay, I'm feeling super motivated, but let's get back to those interview questions.
Okay.
We left off on kind of a tricky one.
Yeah.
Can you explain your experience with PLC programming?
Right. So this question really is just to gauge your familiarity with programmable logic controllers. Those are the brains behind a lot of automated systems. Don't be intimidated if you're not an expert.
Yeah, I have some basic programming knowledge, but I haven't really worked directly with PLCs. What's the best way to approach this?
So honesty is key. Acknowledge your current skill level, but emphasize your eagerness to learn.
Okay.
Mention any exposure you have to programming concepts, even if it's from personal projects or online courses.
So I could say something like, while I'm still developing my PLC skills, I have a solid understanding of programming fundamentals, and I'm really eager to learn more about how PLCs are used in industrial automation.
I love it. You're acknowledging your limitations while highlighting those transferable skills.
Right.
And your commitment to professional development. You can even mention specific resources you're using to learn more about PLCs, online courses, tutorials, or even those RoleCatcher school guides we talked about.
Speaking of RoleCatcher, I bet their AI feedback could give me some valuable insights here.
Oh, for sure. RoleCatcher's AI can analyze your response, suggest ways to make it stronger.
Okay.
It might suggest that you highlight specific PLC programming languages you've been studying, like ladder logic or structured text, or mention relevant projects that demonstrate your ability to think logically and solve problems.
So even if my PLC experience is limited, I can still show them that I'm a capable and eager learner. Okay, on to question number 8. How do you ensure the quality and accuracy of your work? Attention to detail is crucial in this field, right?
Oh, it's essential. Even a tiny error can have big consequences.
Right.
This question's all about showing your meticulous approach, your commitment to perfect results.
So it's not just about fixing mistakes, it's about preventing them.
Yes, exactly. Talk about your process for ensuring accuracy, double-checking calculations, verifying measurements, using checklists, conducting tests. Give them concrete examples.
So instead of saying, I pay attention to detail,
right?
I should say something like, I always triple-check my wiring connections against the schematic diagram, and I use a digital multimeter to confirm voltage readings before powering on any system.
Yes, I love that. Specific examples really paint a clear picture of your dedication to doing things right. You can even mention times you've caught those errors before they became big problems, highlighting your approach to quality control.
And I imagine RoleCatcher's AI could help me identify any gaps in my response or suggest areas to provide more detail.
Oh, absolutely. RoleCatcher's AI is all about making your answers as strong as possible. It can point out where you might be too vague or suggest relevant skills or experiences that would strengthen your response.
Okay, on to question number 9. Can you explain your experience with project management?
Okay.
This one might seem a little unexpected for a technician role, but I'm sensing a theme here.
Yeah.
Employers want candidates who can do more than just the basics.
Yeah, you're getting it. Project management skills are becoming so valuable even in those technical roles. Think about times you took initiative, coordinated tasks, managed deadlines, solved problems independently.
So even if I haven't had an official project manager title, I can still highlight experiences where I did that kind of work.
Absolutely. Maybe you led a team of technicians on a complex installation, or you found a way to make a maintenance process more efficient.
Okay.
Those are all great examples.
And if I'm familiar with project management methodologies like Agile or Scrum,
Yeah.
that's definitely worth mentioning, right?
Oh, definitely. It shows you're in the know, you know the best practices, you've got a structured approach.
Right.
And if you've used any project management software, definitely bring that up too.
Great point. Okay, last but not least, question number 10. How do you stay up to date with new technologies and industry trends?
Okay, a classic.
This is where we show them our love for learning.
Yes, exactly. This field is always changing, so staying current is crucial.
So how do we really impress them here?
Get specific. Talk about the resources you use, trade publications, industry conferences, online courses, professional organizations. Maybe you're an active member of the International Society of Automation, ISA,
Okay.
or you're always checking out webinars on the latest robotics advancements.
And I'm guessing RoleCatcher's AI could help me tailor my answer to the specific company or industry.
Oh, yeah. It can analyze the job description, the company's profile,
Okay.
suggest relevant technologies or trends to mention, might even recommend specific projects or initiatives that align with your skills and interests.
This is all starting to click. It's not just about knowing the answers. It's about making those answers fit each opportunity, presenting yourself as well-rounded, knowledgeable, and eager to learn.
You got it. And RoleCatcher's there every step of the way.
Okay, I'm feeling a lot more confident about these interview questions now.
Good.
But what about the bigger picture?
Okay.
The career itself. The RoleCatcher Career Guide talks about some of the challenges of this work. Physically demanding, potential exposure to hazards. How do I address that in an interview?
Yeah, it's true. It does mention those challenges. But, hey, a little challenge can be a good thing, right? Keeps things interesting.
Absolutely. And those challenges also show how important safety and being physically prepared are. And those are things you've already talked about, in your answers to those earlier questions. It's all about being positive while also being realistic about the job.
Right. So I could say something like, I know this job can be physically demanding, but I like working with my hands, and I always follow safety rules to minimize, the risks. Exactly. And you can even make those challenges sound like good things. For example, you could say, I do my best in those fast-paced environments where I can use my problem-solving skills to overcome, any obstacles that come up.
I like that. It's about showing you're tough and can adapt. Okay, before we finish up, I want to go back to the AI tools from RoleCatcher.
Okay.
We've talked about them a bit, but can you tell me more about how they can help me specifically to ace that interview?
RoleCatcher's AI is like having a personal interview coach right there on your phone. It's more than just giving you sample answers. It looks at the specific job description, finds keywords and skills to really emphasize, and gives you feedback on your answers.
So it's not generic advice. It's personalized for the job I'm applying for.
Exactly. Imagine you're going for a job that's all about PLC programming. RoleCatcher's AI will see that and tell you to talk more about your PLC knowledge, even suggesting specific programming languages or applications to talk about.
Wow, that's really smart. It's like knowing exactly what the hiring manager is looking for.
And there's more. RoleCatcher also lets you practice with videos, and then the AI looks at them.
Oh, wow.
You can record yourself answering those common interview questions, and the AI will give you feedback on how you're speaking, your body language, and how you come across overall.
So it's like a practice interview, but with extra help and suggestions to improve.
Exactly. And the more you practice, the more confident you'll feel when you walk into that interview.
I'm loving all of this. It's amazing how technology can really help us do our best. Okay, so we've talked about a lot, understanding the role, those interview questions, different career paths, and even how AI can help us prepare. What's the one thing you want our listeners to remember as they start their journey as an electromechanical engineering technician?
Preparation is key. Research the role, learn about the industry, practice your answers, and use all the resources out there, especially RoleCatcher and those AI tools. With the right attitude and good preparation, you can show off your skills, get your dream job, and have a great career in this field that's always changing and growing.
Well said. It's been great to really dig deep into this topic with you. I've learned a ton, and I'm sure our listeners have too.
I've enjoyed it. And remember, the world of electromechanical engineering is full of amazing opportunities. Take on the challenges, always keep learning, and go out there and make a difference.
That's a wrap for this deep dive. We hope you learned a lot and that it's inspired you. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep exploring the world of knowledge. Goodbye.